Okay, so now I want to introduce a new object. It's called iTable. It's a visual editor for data tables. You can use a data table to store patterns, musical patterns like chords, scales, melody fragments, right? Um, so a table is a type of storage device. It's laid out as an XY graph. Y is the vertical. The vertical is the data value. X is the horizontal is the location address of the data that's being stored. So example, if you had an XY pair of 0, 5, at location 0, you have the data value of 5. If you have the pair 3, 10, at location 3, you have a data value of 10. And you access or retrieve the data by sending the location address to the table. And in the examples above, you'd send a 0 to the table and it would output a 5, a 3 to the table, it would output a 10. And so you can move through the locations sequentially, randomly. The values can be anything. For our demonstration, I'm going to use it to store musical intervals and half steps that I can play in arpeggio or a scale. So let's use it. I'm going to go to my new patcher. I'm going to insert the object, iTable, and lock the patch. I can draw values in the table. It's kind of small to access the individual values. And if I blow this up a little bit, it's still really hard to see where I'm clicking. I get a legend up here of my X and my Y, but it's still kind of small. So let's unlock the patch, open the inspector, select the iTable. And so this is the I with the circle. Come down here to the bottom. Want to make sure that I save my data with the patcher, and then my range and my size. So the range is the maximum data value that can be stored. And what that means in values is actually the range minus 1. If I have a range of 12, I can have data values that go from 0 to 11. So let's make my range, go back to my octave and half steps. Let me get from 0 to 12. I need my range to be 13. I double click, type it in, hit enter. Now you can already see that blocks are a little bit bigger. Let's go to my size. And let's make this, I want this to be 5. I want to have, say, a 7th chord, root, 3rd, 5th, 7th octave, and that's 5 values. It'll be stored in 0 to 4 location. Same thing. Now you can really see if I left the patch. Very thick bar, as you see the outline. It's very easy to do. So let's go through and enter. 0 for my root. At the next location, 1, I'll enter a 3, which I can see up here, right, as I'm moving through. So 3, and 7 for the perfect 5th, 10 for a 7th. My computer's acting a little slow. 12 for the octave. And now I've described minor 7th chord. I'm going to unlock again and connect a number box. Type an I, an integer. And another I to the left outlet. So then if I lock the patch and type in a number like 0, I'll get 0. Let's use my arrows to increment up and down by moving out. So 1 gives me a 3, 2 gives me a 7, 3 gives me a 10, 4 gives me a 12. If I go beyond, I'm just going to keep getting 12s. I can move through with numbers, and I get the data that's associated with the number. So this is a pretty straightforward thing, but a pretty powerful object. And I'm going to stop at this point because that's the seventh chord. I'm going to hook it up so that we can actually play it. But that's going to take a little more time than one video. So stop this now, pick up with the second, part two.